Hope I don't jack up my phone with this. Okay, we're gonna figure this out. We're gonna make this happen, Kevin. I'm gonna reply to my damn self. Hey guys, good morning, good morning, good morning. And it is indeed a great and beautiful morning. Where are you? Talk to me. Where are you? We're going to get into this conversation about forgiveness, because the thing that's always frustrated me about the topic of forgiveness is that people always say, just forgive. Just forgive. And guess what? It's not that daggone simple. It is not that daggone simple. Let's be honest. There are some things that have happened to people where, it's been a struggle. It's been a struggle. Let's be real. Let's be honest about this. And it's frustrated me. Sometimes people see pain. They see that you've been wronged. And the reason why people don't like to express it is because you always get someone who goes, you have to forgive. You have to let it go. As if it's that daggone simple. Nah, the reality of forgiveness is that it's not that simple, because we're talking about pain. So I have been really blessed to get some wisdom, to have wisdom regarding forgiveness. And I got to share it with y'all today, because here's the thing. When we talk about toxic relationships and we talk about getting away, what are we really talking about? We're talking about the fact that living a unhealthy life is hurtful. It is very costly. Nobody wants it. So we got to learn some things about how to not live a life that is disappointing. And you can live a life that's disappointing whether you get away from, you can get away from the narcissist, get away from an unhealthy relationship, get a divorce, and still live an unsatisfying and disappointing life. Okay? That's the reality. So one of the things that we're talking, that I understand makes a difference in terms of the direction that your life takes is you. Who are you? What's going on inside of you? What's going on inside of your heart? Because a lot of times, what we typically do in this world is we ignore what's really going on inside of us for a lot of us. I gotta take this off. I'm about to start my walk. Good morning, everybody. We tend to just ignore what's going on inside of us. And instead, what we like to do is just kind of, we'll come up with a facade so that everything looks great, so that everything looks lovely, without really dealing with what are the real issues that we're struggling with. Because it's so easy. It's so easy to just cover stuff, pretend, create a facade, throw your education in people's face, throw your status in people's face, and you can be all messed up. The one thing I've learned about women, and this is true of men too, but I'm more concerned about my sisters, is that, you can be you can be financially stable. You can be considered successful, or you can have a great title at your job, a great career. You could have degrees, and honey, you can still be a baby mama, okay? You can still be a side chick. Let's be honest. So, when I observe these things, I've taken them to God and said, well, God, talk to me, teach me. Because these are the women who talk about how empowered they are. They talk about the fact that they say they're empowered. A lot of them put themselves on a pedestal as if they're better than someone who doesn't have a degree, better than someone who doesn't have an impressive title. But at the end of the day, when I look at most women in this world, everybody's in the same boat. Everybody is still dealing with the same emotional junk. Everybody's a baby mama. Everybody. Degrees. Oh, I've seen women with master's degrees. And so they're trying to just keep up a facade, really just trying to keep up a facade, because there's no balance in their life. Okay. And so I have learned to seek God on everything because I learned that I can be whole. I can, thank you, pretty girl. I've learned that I can actually be made whole, that I don't have to settle for trying to appear to be great to other people. I don't have to settle for this imbalance where I'm strong over here, but I'm really weak over here. So we just gonna really focus on what's over here, and we're going to shine a light on what's over here. But let's just not talk about what's really going on in the darkness. I met, for example, a young woman who, she told us right out the gate, she's making 6 figures. Okay. If y'all saw my story time, she told us right out the gate, she's making 6 figures. Her fiance, who's no longer her fiance, interesting. That he said she's making 6 figures. And then when I reflect on my entire involvement with her, association with her, she was a compulsive liar. She was trying to compete with me and everybody else. She lied so that her life would seem more impressive. Like when she said she wrote a book and she never actually wrote a book. And I forgot, I called her bluff on it too. She couldn't even tell me what the book was about because there was no book. Okay. And so all these clues that, girl, you look great on the outside and your social media page is looking good, but what's really going on? Because stuff is not adding up. Now that I'm meeting you in person, sitting down with you and getting to know you on a personal level already out the gate, it didn't even take long. Things are not looking right and things are not adding up. So we always got to talk about what's going on inside of us. We always got to talk about what's really going on. And I got to get out the car so I can start my exercise. Okay. Let's go, guys. Y'all ready? Hopefully y'all did your exercise today. Hey guys, thank you so much for the gifts, the roses. Can I get some diamonds? Cause TikTok, for some reason, they like the diamonds. They like, I love your roses. I love you. Whatever y'all want to send me is beautiful. Thank you. But for some reason, TikTok is like, oh yeah, diamonds. Here's your diamond stats. So y'all do help me. Your love and support does truly help me, and it truly does benefit me. So I do appreciate you. Now let's go ahead and get back to this this topic of what is it? What are the things that are stopping us from getting to that place of really being whole, where we no longer have to settle for just a mask? Hold on, guys. Got to get out the car because I told y'all I'm working out. Got my bands on. I know I look tired. This is real life, bro. This is real life. We gonna look tired in the morning. It's fine, though. It's fine. You know why? Because I'm still beautiful. There go my baby. Bye, baby. Sometimes people ask me, what kind of car is that? That's my baby. That's Black Beauty right there. Just like her mama. All right. So, you know what's funny? I was about to say, where's my phone? It's in your hand, Dodo. It's in your hands. Okay. She got on funeral. I don't have on funeral makeup. I didn't finish my makeup. So who cares? I don't trip over these little stupid things. I know who I am. I already know I'm beautiful. I don't have a funeral makeup. I didn't finish my makeup. And guess what? I'm still here. So shut the hell up. Hold on. I'm going to block this clown. Because I really just don't like clowns in my life. I really don't. Okay. So here we go. Thank you, love. Yes, it looks weird. I know it looks weird when you don't finish your makeup, but when I finish, it's going to look amazing. So here's the thing. When you're serious about your goals and you really have definite goals, honey, you stop sweating the small stuff. The old me would not have come out with makeup that wasn't finished. Oh, this new version of Jamila Ballard, baby, if it ain't finished, let's go. Doesn't matter. Let's go. Anywho, I know my worth. I don't question my worth. I know my worth. And that doesn't change or decrease in any way, shape, or form based on what I look like. Hell no. Even if I'm looking amazing and fabulous, I'm still not worth it. My value is still great. It's still phenomenal. Ladies, you got to know this. So people don't rattle you. You know what I mean? Like the worst thing somebody could say is, "Ugh, you're ugly," right? If somebody was to say that, okay, so anyway, I still got my life. I still got my goals. I still have a beautiful life. I still have a God that never, ever, ever fails me. and it keeps showing up and keeps showing up and keeps showing up in my life, what is your little stupid, small-minded comments going to do to me? Nothing. I will remain unmovable. So anyway, let's go ahead and talk about the topic of forgiveness. Here's the thing. A lot of times we don't realize what it is in our lives. Good morning. We don't realize what happened. Somebody broke in the store? Ah, okay. So a lot of times we don't realize what it is that's stopping us in our lives, okay? And I remember when I was in that abusive relationship, and I hate even thinking about it. It was that bad. I felt so stuck. I felt so depressed. I knew I was intelligent. I knew I had so many talents, but I also was very well aware of the fact that these things I need to get them out. I need to express them, and I don't know how to start. So I always talk about narcissism, abusive relationships, and toxic relationships, even toxic familial relationships, because sometimes we don't realize it is through relationships that the enemy is very present in our lives. Very present, doing exactly what it is that he plans, carrying out his plans for your life. So you better have some daggone plans for your life, because believe me, he has plans to destroy your life. Absolutely. Maybe if I take my hair out, would that help? It's still got a lot of conditioner in it though. It's still wet and full of conditioner. All right, so here we go. Forgiveness. When you get away from a narcissist and when you get away from this horrible relationship and horrible people, I don't care who they are. This lighting is strange too. That ain't helping. Check out my bands, y'all. Check out them bands. She ain't playing. So here's what happens. If you don't figure out why is it that you were even susceptible to fall for somebody like that? Why is it that you stayed right there? You have got to start asking yourself some hard questions. I've heard a lot of people say women nowadays don't believe in accountability. It ain't true about all women. It's not true about all women. A lot of women are looking in the mirror because we want to heal and we want to do better, okay? It can sound like that sometimes. With me, it's never that. Because you don't progress and move forward until you start holding yourself accountable. See, as long as the power to change your life is in somebody else's hands, you're powerless. You are powerless. As long as you are at their mercy, asking them to change, asking them to understand you, asking them to stop cheating on you, asking him to be a father and care about his kids, asking him to care about what you need. As long as you're at somebody else's mercy, baby, you are powerless. You're powerless. So let's talk about what that does to us. And we're going to get to, this is all about forgiveness, okay? What that does is it starts all that hurt and trauma of not being respected, of our voice, not having a voice, because your voice has been disrespected so much. It has never been validated. So all that causes pain. Staying in these situations and in these relationships causes pain. It causes a lot of hurt. It causes trauma, okay? Hey guys, love you all. Yes, ma'am, I am. always preaching. Hey, love. So here we go. When you really become hurt and deeply affected by a relationship where you were lied to, and that means you were betrayed, okay? Somebody cheating on you and lying all the time to you and about you, that causes feelings of resentment. It causes hurt. It causes real pain. And that leads to, when it's ongoing, it leads to trauma, okay? Now, imagine you experience some real hurt. You've actually been betrayed and rejected. And then when you try to talk about it, because you're going to need to talk about it. But when you try to talk about it, somebody says to you, you just need to forgive. That is the most aggravating, frustrating thing. First of all, you're another person not giving voice to my pain. The first thing you do when you realize somebody is talking about something difficult that they've gone through is acknowledge. Acknowledge. Validate, because whether you agree or not, their pain is real. It's real to them. It is really an obstacle to them. It is really hindering them. I'm getting chills. When I get chills like this, honey, pay attention. Pay attention. It's not cold out here. It's not those types of chills. So what happens is you get frustrated and you stop talking. You don't even want to talk to anybody about it anymore because nobody understands. Yes, Jesus heals, baby. That's why I'm here and talking about this, honey, because you are looking at his healing. You are looking at what his healing, proof, evidence of his healing. Okay, that's why I can talk about it. Because when I was going through this stuff, I couldn't talk about it. I couldn't make sense of it. I didn't have God's wisdom and God's perspective. I didn't understand it. All I had was hurt. All I knew how to do was talk about what somebody was doing to me. Did not understand. It was Satan himself behind it all to destroy my life so that I would eventually have no hope. So that I couldn't give birth to the visions that God gave me, so that I would not operate in the gifts that God gave me and created me for. So yes, Jesus heals. So what happens is you get to this place where, okay, even if I try to talk about it, nobody understands. People don't really walk in love. They just say love a lot. People don't really have the patience to listen. I don't know what the distracted means, love. You can go ahead and explain. They don't really have the patience to listen. Can y'all hear me fine? Because it's hard to hold my phone while I'm walking. I need my little stand thingy. Look how I'm literally holding my phone, y'all. Would you look at this? Because my arm is hurting. Okay, so here's the thing. Most people just are not equipped to handle your trauma. And they will interrupt you and say to you, just forgive. Why don't you just forgive? Why don't you just let it go? It's not that easy. So let's talk about what forgiveness really looks like. Because I've been on this daggone journey. Be honest with yourself. I know God. I know his voice. He leads me and he keeps showing up in my life. He literally shows up in my life every single day, teaching me and talking to me every single day. And yet, forgiveness has been hard. I'm going to be honest, and most people won't be honest about that because people will shame you. Oh, you should. If you love God, oh, you should. That's a religious mindset, okay? I'm not religious. I got set free. So let's be honest. When you feel really hurt by someone, if you've been betrayed, rejected, talked about enough, lied on enough, just devalued as a human being, you feel like what they did is unforgivable. Let's be honest. You feel like what they did is just unforgivable. You're too hurt. You get to a point you can be so hurt you can't talk about it. You can be so hurt that you think about it all the time and it's locked up like a knot in your chest because it's too hard to talk about. It's too hard to try to process. It's been going on so long. And yes, love, yes, you start to ask, why? I used to be there. That was about 15 years ago. Why, Lord? I'm a good person. Like, this doesn't make any sense. And now it does. Now it does make sense so that I can continue to speak to women, so that I can continue to preach, so I can continue to write books, so I can continue to allow God's love and his healing flow through me because I'm his vessel. Now it makes sense. So let me tell you the first step in forgiveness, okay? And you need prayer. You need prayer. You need to seek God because you're not gonna get there without him. You're not gonna get there without him. You're not. The best you can do without him is try to change your actions, but you're still not actually being transformed. And healing with God is transformation. So because you are now different on the inside, you start to produce different behavior. You will start to behave differently. Okay, So first thing first, you need to want to forgive. When you understand that it is consuming too much of your thought life, that is stressing you, you have to know that this can lead to sickness. Stress absolutely causes sickness, and you are now working against yourself because the enemy brought you some toxicity, but as long as you keep living it in your head, you hold on to it. You can kick the person out of your life and you're still holding on to it because you're still angry. You're still bitter, okay? And so learning to forgive is a process. That's why I hate when people say, oh, just forgive. Oh, just let go. It's a process. It's a process. I have been going through this process with my Father God, holding my hand every step of the way. You have got to know He's patient. Don't talk to people who are going to make you feel like you're just not forgiving. And then the only thing you can say back to them is, but I'm trying. It doesn't matter if they understand. They will never understand. People will never understand. This is human nature. Without the wisdom of God, human beings talk, and without understanding. Without understanding. They just like to run their daggone mouths and act like they know everything. Hold on, y'all. They making too much noise. They're making too much noise. And so here's how it starts. It starts with you literally saying, I want to forgive. I'm tired. I'm tired. And if you have not already said this and you feel like you have any type of unforgiveness in your heart, trust me, I've had to walk this walk and live it in order to be able to really talk about what forgiveness looks like. I'd like to be able to give everybody a real perspective, a real understanding on some things that we just got wrong. We just got it wrong. Trauma changes you. Trauma changes you. Pain changes you. It changes the way you think. You become a not as soft, not as trusting, not as gentle person. I remember the me before trauma. Oh, she was so sweet, so naive. Anything you want, she'll do it. Sure, because she truly, genuinely just want to. I want to help everybody. I want to do for everybody. I don't even care. I don't even care how they treat me. I don't care if they really like me. I don't really care. I don't care if they're weird to me. I don't care if they feel two-faced. I don't care. I just want to love, just blind. And trauma changes you. Some of it can work in your favor. Some of it can work in your favor. But what it does is change the way you think. It changes your ability to trust people, to see people in a good light. And the worst part of it all is that it changes the way you look at yourself. Because when your self-worth has been diminished and your self-worth has been under attack, you don't really believe in yourself, so you're trying to. You don't really trust yourself. You might be trying to. You might say you do, but when you get away from toxicity in your life, then your eyes get open real wide and you'll look back and go, my God, wow, it was worse than I thought. Now I'm learning to trust myself. And now I can see I really did not trust myself. That is what low self-esteem does. All these things hurt you to the point where the world will call it low self-esteem. And that's what happens if your value as a human being is totally taken for granted, not appreciated, not acknowledged, purposely diminished by an evil person through that relationship. And honey, sometimes you don't see it because you just blind. That's my family. It's my family. And you don't really see them for who they are. You don't really see them for who they are. So what happens is it changes you. Now, when it has changed you, the pain, this is what happens. The pain causes you to think differently. So now I've got a different mindset that says you have to just protect yourself. Just protect yourself, because the pain, when you feel someone has really betrayed you, it is the worst. It is the absolute worst. And I'm going to tell you flat out, I don't know if y'all followed me, I know it. I know it firsthand. Even all these years later, after having left that so-called marriage, gotten divorced and everything, all the effects on my family they're still there. They haven't, their division is still there. So I'm healed, made whole, and still, once my mind goes there, I can still shed tears. I can still actually shed tears. So the lesson in that is pay attention to where your mind goes. Things hurt because of the way that you see them, because of the perspective that you see these experiences and these people through. And if you commit to what you think about that person and that experience, it hurts you. So forgiveness is a process. And the first step is, Lord, help me. I want to forgive. You are not responsible for answering to anyone who thinks you should have forgiven by now. You should have been over that by now. How could you do that? That's your family. You don't have to answer to any of that. You are responsible for your walk in this world, and you are responsible for your relationship with God. You answer to Him. Listen, there's a thing called timing, okay? My husband always says time and season. Nothing just happens. So it's insulting to say to somebody, just forgive. Just forgive. It's a process. It's a process. But if you are determined to stay committed to living differently, thinking differently, you will continue to seek God, and He starts to change your perspective. He starts to change your perspective so that you look at the situation, the person, and everything that happened differently. So I can tell you honestly, what happens when you've been hurt, betrayed, and rejected is you justify being mad because it's so easy. I'm in Columbus, Georgia. Yes, boo. How you know that? Are you in Columbus too? So you justify being angry. And because it is understandable that you would be angry and hurt, you stay there. You stay there. You talk to people that agree with you. Yes, your hurt is real, but it can be the worst to talk to someone who doesn't have God's wisdom inside of them, because they're going to keep you in your feelings. And your feelings keep you thinking the same thing. And you can be mad at somebody forever, but there's no way that you just carry that and not suffer the consequences of carrying that. There's no way. Hey, Lawrenceville, there's no way. So you have got to start the process, and it's going to be a process. And along the way, there will be times where you feel like, oh, why am I'm still hurt, Lord, help. I'm still hurt, Lord, help. God, I'm still saying stuff that I know I shouldn't be saying that. I know I shouldn't be calling her those names. I know. But when you are so committed to Him and your heart is pure, like, I want to think like Him. I want to be like Him. I want to love like Him. And I want to forgive like He does. So you submit to a process. And I promise you start to feel differently. But you got to just stand. You got to just stand on, listen, I know I'm healed. I spend time with God and I have received Him as my Lord and Savior. I know I'm healed. I know I'm healed. I know I'm healed. And this is why we have to keep pouring His ways, His word, pouring it in. Keep pouring it into us. Keep pouring it into our ears, into our minds, into our hearts. This is why. Because you start thinking like Him, everything's different. Your eyes get open so wide, everything is different. And I'm telling you, then the forgiveness is possible. But the forgiveness is not, oh, I want to forgive. I wake up the next day. I don't feel angry anymore. It doesn't work like that. It's a process, and you need Him every step of the way. And I promise you, at some point, you start feeling like disconnected from the from the pain that you associated that person with. All of a sudden, you start to feel disconnected from it. You will literally feel different. So there were people in my life whose names, I couldn't even say their names. But the Bible said to me, listen, when the Bible and God through prayer speaks to you and tells you to do something, fight your flesh, just do it. Even if it's difficult, just do it, because the benefit is for you. It's for you. And whoever you reach after that, the benefits and the blessings are on purpose. They're on purpose. I couldn't say their names at first. I couldn't say their names for years. Oh, I gave them some names. Thank you, boo, for saying I look beautiful, even though somebody was like, she got funeral makeup, because I ain't finished my makeup. And I'm tired as hell. Check out my channel later. I'll look cute. I'll look cute by then. But let's not even go there. Thank you, love. Thank you, love. I appreciate the love. So what happens is, eventually, as long as you are determined to forgive, you start feeling differently. You start having some different thoughts. And that's when you know, okay, I'm feeling a little lighter about the situation and the person, but it does take time, because I'm telling you, the hurt and the pain causes very real trauma that changes you as a person. And your memory, you have a memory. You have a memory, and then you have an evil adversary who will make sure that you don't forget what you ought to be mad about. He will make sure, him and your memory will make sure that you always be offended about a time that is dead and gone. 10 years ago, you still reliving it. So to get back to where we started off, these things will hold you back. They will hold you back from your visions, from your dreams, from your purpose, and the plan that God destined for your life. For your life. That's why it's important. Because you need your mind to be you need your mind to be in a healthy place. You need your mind to be the mind of Christ, where you think like him, you operate like him, you live like him, you walk this life like him, in his will, his ways. Because that's where that's the peace. There ain't no freedom and peace from making a lot of money. I hate to break it to y'all. The freedom and peace does not come from making a lot of money, honey. It doesn't. If your thought life is already based on, I gotta have something, I gotta do something, I gotta impress people, I gotta be more this, I gotta be more that, instead of knowing your identity and knowing you're good enough, then even if the money comes, there's still no freedom. There's still no freedom. There's still no peace. Like, how many stories do y'all need to see of people who were rich, living it up, sitting on top of the daggone world, and they're gone because they decided they didn't want to be here anymore? Money is not the answer. Wake up. Jesus said, I am the way. I am the truth. I am the life. There is no other way. There is no other way. So forgiveness is about you being free. It's about you reaching a place of freedom, of freedom, of freedom. Honey, when you can die to your ego and not care, and God will mature you to that place, and not care that people don't understand, and not even try to explain it to anybody, because there's a confidence that comes from walking with him, hand in hand with him. You don't feel like you need to explain anything. Just being, just getting up every single day and living the life that he gave you and that he wants you to live and that he created for you is good enough. It's good enough. My life is good enough. I'm good enough. And that's why you could talk about my makeup not being finished all day long. I don't care. I don't care. You think this face is who I am? I love my face too, by the way. But you think this is who I am? Oh, you poor small-minded fool. Yeah, I blocked him. He gone anyway. I'm just saying, this is something we need to understand as women. Oh, we just let the small things determine what we do and how we live. And if we just discard toxicity, not just in people, but in habits that come from wrong thinking, all of a sudden there is a freedom. All of a sudden there is a new life. And the world is telling you, chase money so you can have a new life. And I'm telling you, you can survive and chase and chase and chase and always be doing things out of insecurity because you feel like you got to prove something to people. But when you know you're good enough, because God himself keeps showing you how much he loves you, all of a sudden there's no pressure to prove anything to anybody. So at some point, if you are in communion with him, and that just means you are in relationship with him, consistently talking to him, spending time with him, he's that important to you that he's your priority. Forgiveness, you can start the forgiveness journey. And I promise you, he's got enough patience to carry you. He's got enough patience to lift you up when you have a moment and you don't feel very forgiving because all of a sudden the pain is back. It's back. But you get there. Just don't stop. Just don't stop. You still can get there. Got my baby. And we're back. Guys, thank you so much for hanging out with me today. Thank you so much for spending time with me and walking with me. I'm going to go back and look at your comments now because when I'm walking, I can't. I can't. So let's see. Excuse me. Well, your prayers get heard through Jesus, which is not his real name. Okay, anyway, this is not about prayer, but what I'm talking about is depending on God and not trying to change the word because your intellect is telling you something different. Boo-boo, you have been deceived. I'm going to call it like it is. And Jesus did that too when he walked on this earth. Everybody thinks he's just like this all the daggone time. No, he wasn't, honey. He was calling out foolishness all the time to people's faces. Because he was speaking truth. So he had the authority. He was literally living truth, the living word. He had the authority to do it as he was led to do it. You choosing to think some variation of the word, baby, that's on you. And that's what your life will produce too. Because when you kind of let in the disbelief, doubt, is you giving permission to the enemy. It's you letting him in. You don't even have to believe me, baby. It's true. It's just the truth. It is the truth. I don't debate anything. I'm going to tell you what it is. Okay? Because I'm not a fake Christian where it's all about going to church. It's no, baby. We talking about this ain't nothing but his spirit living on the inside of me, talking to me, teaching me, giving me wisdom. Literally has changed my life from the inside out in every way, shape, and form. I will not debate somebody who's not there yet. You don't know what you don't know, just like a 2-year-old doesn't know that fire is dangerous. So they're going to stick their hand in the fire anyway. Baby, if that's what you want to do, go ahead and stick your hand in the fire. But from somebody who knows what happens when you stick your hand in the fire, don't do it. Don't do it. Don't doubt. Don't just live in disbelief. You don't have to. You don't have to. It's going to be a problem. Oh, it's going to be a problem, honey. And the problem is, we don't really, really trust God. We don't really, really believe him. And then then all of a sudden, when our lives produce the results of you settling because you don't really believe him, now we want to just blame God for that. This ain't my first rodeo. You can doubt all you want, honey. That's on you. That's on you. You can doubt all you want. Anyhow, I got to get going. Oh, okay. All right. Thank you, love. Which is not his real name. It is his real name, though. Okay. I'm not sure why you're saying that, but it doesn't matter. I'm not going to be distracted. I know what I came to say today, okay? And I hope that you all were blessed. Whoever's still there, I hope you were blessed because, listen, we all got some type of pain and trauma in our life. And I think when you don't deal with it, you don't realize it's still affecting you. You can keep that person. See, a lot of people think the answer is to keep that person out of your life. Well, sometimes you may need to do that. But just make sure that when you do that, that you are paying attention to your thought life, because if your thought life is not the same as what you have actually done, you need to keep talking to God. You need to keep, if your mind is still on it all the time, you got to keep talking to God, because he's got to uproot some things in you. And it is a process, and there's no way around the process. There's no shortcut. There is no shortcut. So don't talk to anybody about forgiveness. I just want to forgive. That same conversation that you would have with somebody, because of, we always need, immaturity always needs a human connection, conversation to confirm. But you can reach a certain place of maturity where all you depend on to confirm is him. So rather than going and asking somebody, do you think I'm forgiven? You can literally open up your mouth. Lord, help me with this forgiveness. He knows you inside and out well, and he's seen every step of your life, every moment and every day of your life. There is nobody suited better to help you. No one. No one. So you can be 100% whole and set free. Yes, you can. You don't have to settle for, all I can do is try to, make my life good. Listen, if all you're doing is trying to make your life look good, that's a lot of pressure. That's a lot of pressure. That's a lot of I'm a content creator, okay? My husband and I started this years ago. And now I'm at a different place in this content creation. If you think people just take off in a couple of years, no, they don't. Everybody that I watch that's doing great, honey, they've been at it for like 8 years. But let me just tell you something why I brought this up. If you think that is the answer, you're just going to, and the girl I told y'all about in my story time, that's perfect example. If you think you're just going to make your life look so daggone great that you're not going to have to deal with what your real issues are, that pressure is going to stress the hell out of you. In content, just as an example, in content creation alone, I could go in my kitchen, because I'm talking about, if I'm doing a lifestyle video and I want to talk about diet, my kitchen is not perfect. I had some close to perfect kitchens, but my husband and I just recently picked up and moved to a whole different state. We bought a house that's an old house. We're renovating the entire house. So if I sat there and waited for my house to be perfect, I would not be walking in this blessing of real confidence. It's too much. It's too much pressure. The freedom is in just accepting my life is in God's hands. I'm good. Every step of this journey, he accepts. He has validated me. I'm good enough. So all of my process is good enough, because he who has begun a work in me is faithful to complete. He's faithful. And if you say that enough, you start to understand it and have this insight about those words, and there's the pressure, all of a sudden it's like, wow, why was I living under that pressure? Nothing's going to be perfect. I've had to get up and do hauls in bikinis when I was overweight for my body type, and it's still up there. Without that confidence that comes from God, I would have deleted them videos by now. I don't care. I don't care. There's a freedom. There's a peace that comes with walking with him. There's a wholeness. I'm a new creation. I'm not the old Jamila that felt like I had to present myself to, I have to look, this has to be, the outfit has to, now it's like, look, it is what it is. Talk if you want to talk, have a ball. It will change nothing inside of me, because my confidence comes from God. So he's not changing. I'm not changing anything based on what somebody else thinks. I'm not. It's that simple. So thank you, guys. Send me some diamonds and hearts, please, guys. Come on. I got one diamond. Come on. Now, this is really life-changing wisdom. And even if you already know some of the things I'm talking about, can I tell you, there's power in reinforcement. There's power in reminding, revisiting, keeping your mind in a healthy place. Listening, because as you're listening, you are meditating on power. Because listen, I said it before, I put the power in empowerment, baby. Ain't no empowerment without God. To be empowered means to be blessed. You know what that means? So we can call empowerment, there's people that give out information to put themselves in a spotlight. They got designer shoes on, and they say, oh, you know what? I'm empowering women. But baby, until you've been transformed from the inside out, you are not empowering, honey. You are presenting something. You're presenting something. But I've got testimonies. I've got testimonies of how God has literally touched through me and transformed not just my life, but other lives. That's empowerment. That's empowerment. Empowerment used to just frustrate me because I've seen women who call themselves empowerment speakers, and then I've gotten to know them behind the stage in real life, and they purposely disempower women because they're immature. So they're still jealous. So they will knock you down and pull you down and pull up a woman who they don't consider to be a threat. I'm going to talk about this for real. If I spit, oh well, it's only me in my car. I'm going to talk about this for real. There's no power without God. There's no empowerment without God. And I've even talked to be real honest with you, I've talked to my husband about this. I've talked to him about this. Years and years ago, he put together a conference, and it was a great conference. But what kind of irked me a little bit was that how do we talk about empowering and changing lives without God? Are we actually doing that? So let's be honest. Let's say to people, then you're going to get some great information. You will get some great skills. Say that, but stop saying you're empowering people, because until you have been transformed and empowered yourself and walk in that daggone maturity, are you actually empowering anybody? Or are you just, look at me, everybody look at me. Everybody just look at me. Look, I'm so great. Because I'm not going to say I'm so great. I'm going to tell you all my weaknesses and everything, the things I have struggled with. When I talk about discipline, I'm not talking about discipline because I'm just so freaking wonderfully disciplined. I'm talking about it because the years and decades of trauma had me a little foggy up here, and discipline was hard as hell. But God, hallelujah. I'm in your city, boo. Maybe, listen, we got to hook up then. We're going to hook up. We're going to connect. We're going to at least do coffee. We can at least do that much. If you want to, reach out to me. You can send me an email. You can instant message, direct message me, whatever y'all want to call it. You can go to my YouTube page, Most Beautiful Ink, please, because I really would love to connect with you. I would love to at least have a conversation, at least a phone conversation with you, okay? And if you're not comfortable with it, that's fine. That's fine, boo-boo. If you're not comfortable and you eventually become comfortable with it a year down the line, then the offer still stands. The invitation still stands, okay? So, guys, I got to get going. Y'all do some BS and believe in God. Anyway. I would block people in a heartbeat, because all these, listen, negative people, that's what they do. They just spew poison. That's what they do. They are literally exposing their bitter heart. That's not something for me to be offended by. Why would that doesn't make any sense for me. I know better. I have wisdom they don't have. So I completely understand. It would make no sense for me to be offended by you being a bitter, negative person, and you thinking I gotta yank, I gotta somehow get in there and say something because you don't feel like you have a voice. So you have learned the only way to get people to pay attention to you is to interject with your negativity. And you can be healed too. You can be healed too. I already did. I blocked him. You can be healed too. Thank you. It doesn't matter. Here's the thing y'all got to understand about life. When you reach that place where you have God's thoughts about you in your head all the time, it will shrink people's thoughts to oblivion. I highly recommend getting set from people, because once you no longer care about people's opinions, what they might say, what they might criticize, what if they see this, what if they know that, baby, I expose all my stuff my damn self. So by the time you say it, it's like, okay, and I'm very honest with myself. If I pride myself on anything, it's on being honest, because honesty is everything to me. I walk in honesty with myself in relationships, and that's why it's hard to be in a relationship with me, because I just do straight honesty. I don't do anything else. I don't play games. I'm not up to anything. There's no hidden agenda. If I love you, I'm going to care for you You're going to get my whole daggone heart. And that can be very uncomfortable for dysfunctional people. They don't know what it's very uncomfortable. I get it. I get it. I get it. You know, that's the thing about being called by God, because he will show you things that other people don't understand. They just don't understand. They don't get it and they can't see it. You know, if they could, he wouldn't need his servants. He wouldn't need his servants to bring people into the light if everybody was in the light and really could see clearly and understand the deception and the mind game that is being played on everybody in this world. And it's all in the Bible. You're not the only one, love. You're not, honey. You in good company, baby. I'm your sister. I'm your sister. We got a lot of sisters and brothers out there who are real, and we have to really, really be in communion. And I never understood what that meant. It just means in relationship. He's your priority. That relationship is your most important relationship. That's what it means. You submit willingly. You have already yielded yourself and your ways to his ways. That's it. You have accepted, humbled yourself to the point where you accept he's above me. He will always be above me. I will always need him. I will always need him. I will never stop needing him. I will always depend on him for everything. I will always trust him. I don't question God. If you stop questioning, it's funny. The answers come. Because sometimes the questions are just doubt. Now, if you don't understand things, by all means, Lord, I heard such and such in church, but is that true? Like, where is that? Yes, question in that sense. But if you find yourself criticizing the word, you want to debate the word rather than really in here, sitting in, trying to hear and understand, get understanding from him, you fighting your own blessings. You are fighting your own freedom. You're fighting your own peace. You just are. You just are. If you've been with me this far, again, thank you guys so much. It's so daggone hot out here. I'm dripping sweat, which is good. Which is good. I have slimmed down a lot. I am loving it. I am loving it. I'm fighting and resisting the temptation to keep posting myself with no clothes on because I'm so loving the way I have shrunken, and I never thought I would like that. I never thought I would actually like it because, you grow up black. It's about being thick, but I'm still thick at the same time. I'm slim thick. Thank you, boo. You got to be happy with yourself. That's the bottom line. You got to be happy with yourself. So if you are naturally a size 2, baby, forget about the thick revolution. Boo will love you, celebrate you, enjoy the temple that God has given you, and see it as such so you can appreciate it. So you can appreciate and just, oh my God, you just feel good. You just feel good about who you are when you stop comparing and you start listening. Oh, oh, wow. Oh, wow. You really love me. You're mindful of me. I'm precious in your sight. You don't see my past. You don't see my mistakes. Honey, that freedom is wings. Wings. It is literally wings. I used to always have these dreams of me flying in the sky. And hey, that would be awesome. But I'm flying. I'm already flying. Thank God. I've reached that place of I'm flying. I'm still human. I still have very human moments all the time. This is what salvation is. It's not reaching a place of perfection. You can't. You can't reach a place of people's idea of perfection. But God's idea of perfection is you humble yourself, you receive him into your life, into your heart, and now you allow him to direct and guide you. You allow Jesus to be your savior. That's God's idea of perfection. I don't argue with people about what's perfect. You ain't perfect. I don't argue with small-minded folks. It's a waste of my daggone time. Now, if you want to listen, you'll be blessed. But then you're not wasting my time. You ain't just bombarding my mind with foolishness and confusion and chaos and negativity. If you have not already given your life to God, this is your opportunity. 1, 2, 3 is that simple. It takes only about 20 seconds, and all you got to do is repeat after me. God, thank you for today. Thank you for my precious life today. I choose to acknowledge you today. I thank you that you sent your son in order that we may have the opportunity of actually having a direct connection and relationship with you. I thank you and I trust you to continue to lead and guide me from here supernaturally. It is in Jesus' name. I thank you, God, and I say amen. It's that simple. And look, don't even need great makeup to do that. You know why? Because power is power. Empowerment is to be blessed. Empowerment is to be blessed. Empowerment is to be blessed. Have you ever been to an empowerment conference and you walked away with information and never applied it? You know why? Because you still have the same struggles that you're not dealing with, that you're not addressing. You still haven't been made whole. You still haven't uprooted a foundation of hurt and rejection. Okay? You can get information for decades and still make no progress. You need to be made whole. And only God can do that. Only God can do that. Guys, I truly love you so much. Thank you so much for your time today. Thank you for being so sweet and saying I look beautiful. You know what's funny? Had I not halfway done my makeup and done no makeup whatsoever, that would actually look better. But listen, like I always say, transparency is everything to me. It's fine. If it wasn't for the fact that anybody could join my live shoot, I probably would just do it in my underwear in the morning as I'm getting dressed and would not care. I am that free. I am really that free. Thank you. Thank you, celebrity. Yes, we are in the light. Hallelujah. Thank you, God. Thank you, God. Ooh, I'm sweating. I'm hot. I'm really, really hot. You guys want to hear something funny? Look what I got in my car. Sometimes I crave marshmallows. Yeah, Jesus help me. Sometimes I literally just crave marshmallows. I thought I already blocked Calvin. Oh, I did. That's late. Sorry, I'm late. I'm late. Guys, I hope you have a wonderful, really, really amazing, beautiful day. Understand that everything about you and everything about your life, everything about your body, everything about your journey and your pain, it's okay. It's all you. It's all what makes your journey uniquely your journey. I highly recommend submitting and surrendering your life to God because I feel like I'm on my second life. I am. I'm a new creation. That first life, that wasn't for me. That girl was so broken, so broke, couldn't, just stuck, stagnant, fighting with somebody who didn't want peace every single day, was tearing me down. Oh, his family still tears me down to this day. They've even recruited two of my kids. And guess what? I will continue to say something that even somebody who probably doesn't even know God said to me. When I was going through him harassing me and kept constantly, he learned that he could file motions and drag me into court and he could just lie. He could just make up something and that's it. Now I got to show up in court. And so I remember just feeling like I said, you deal with the effects forever. So I had an attorney, and I got an attorney at that point, and this was after the divorce, years and years after the divorce, and he just would not stop coming at me. That's the devil. That's the devil. The devil really uses people, okay? And he probably uses best the people who aren't even satanic worshipers. He probably uses them best because they don't think the devil is actually using them. They're not that wise. They ain't that sharp. So even an attorney said to me, because I started to go into fears. Well, what if, I have been dealing with this for decades with this miserable mofo, okay? There's no other way to say it. He didn't want to treat me right, but he also didn't want to lose me, and he also didn't want me to move on with my life and have a real husband and a real marriage. So he just wreaked havoc in my life before I divorced him for 2 decades, and then for 2+ decades after the fact. I'm 50. If you're trying to do the math. And the attorney said to me, as I started to give voice to fears, ma'am, live your life. And that I will continue to say to any and everybody, do not become so obsessed
Do not allow it, because you can leave them and the enemy can still have you by your freaking collar with their memories, with the fears. Be made whole. Be made whole. Transformation will save you. Information will not. It will not. It will not. Only God possesses that power to transform you. And if you think, well, I don't want to go that route, then you're settling. Just settling. And that's that. Don't blame God when whatever you chose to do doesn't work, because you ain't choose him. He works. He's faithful. Guys, love you all so much. Again, love you all so much, truly, and I hope you have a blessed and beautiful day. Can I get some hearts and some diamonds and something before we go? Come on. Is it hard to give a diamond, y'all? Because, like, I've literally asked for diamonds, and I only see one diamond. I think I only see one diamond. Like, how do y'all give diamonds? Hot as hell. Okay, guys. That's fine. I love you all. I hope you were blessed. That's the bottom line for me. Have a great and beautiful day. I will be back mañana.